music to come in real low in the background. Hello, everybody. My name is Lucas. I'm Lucas G Variety. Good evening and welcome. I'm back with my friends in the new year of 2025. Today is February the 8th. This is the Walking Dead Universe RPG by Free League using the Year Zero engine. It's the same designer and system as Alien RPG and other ones I can't remember at this time. Dan can rattle off later. This game is run like the AMC's The Walking Dead show and frames it after its universe. Each session is an episode and a spin-off show of The Walking Dead. This game takes place near Grand Ledge, Michigan, in the United States of America, after about a year of the outbreak. Possibly around the year of 2000 to 2002-ish. Very vague. This will be our pilot season 1, episode 1. Episode 1 is called Dead Pilot. Disclaimer. The Walking Dead television series takes place in a dark world with many situations that raise issues relating to personal morality. This game is no different. It will be dark. Death will be everywhere. It's not a game or a show for children. Now, let me take a look at our cast. A couple of our members were both sick. And different ends of the globe, too. So they are not here, but maybe they're watching online or later on. But I'll go to the gentleman who's been with me the longest. We got Soundwaves Ghost to the viewer's right. Hello. Then my good old boy joining me from way back grade school, Mr. Zero the Hero, the other side. Our newest member, but now the coolest because she's in character with a hat, is going to be Brookish, if I said it right, playing the role of Cassandra. No, she said Colorcast. We'll Colorcast. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to anybody out there who may be watching. Tice the Betrayer and that obvious guy should be joining us next time. So they will be kind of pushed to the background as you get a little look as we start into our little episode here. Real quick, I was going to go through this once. I wanted to go through it with everybody, but we'll just go through. If you are looking, I will throw this in the main chat real quick, and then we're going to get our story going on. And after that, it'll be enough talking. Time for this guy to shut up and let you guys do the talking. So, let me get this out of here real quick. We're going to do these. I put them in our chat. Just read the principles real quick. Dan, could I start with you? And then Brooke. And then Jason for number 3. And then I'll do number 4.
I'm doing number 1?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Do whatever it takes to survive. There is no preset path to salvation for your PC and no way to win this game. There are no boss endings or hidden treasures. All there is your will to survive and your freedom to do whatever it takes to keep going another day.
Okay. Got number 2 for us, Brooke?
Yep, death is inescapable. Death is everywhere, and even though you can kill individual walkers, there will always be more coming. Your only hope is to build barricades, but they will only last so long.
Thank you.
All right, number 3. You're never safe. So everything changes. There is no permanently safe place. Those who were your allies yesterday may sneak into your camp tonight and take your supplies or your life. The old gas station, which was cleared an hour ago, is now filled with walkers after a car alarm went off. And even your own mind can betray you through fear, weakness, and even delusion. Lucas G Variety, 2225.
I knew you were going to read that because I left it in there. I knew you would. You suck. I knew it, though. I knew it. Number 4.
I was going to as well.
You are not alone. This is a game about a group of people, not individual heroes. Your PC may die, but you will get a new one. The same holds for the other players and the GM. Everyone is equally responsible for what happens at the table. You all bring the fun, and you should respect each other's preferences and wishes. I'll do number 5, and then someone can do number 6.
That's 6.
You want it, Dan?
6. I'll take 6. Go.
All right. Number 5, you are telling a story. The game is played in scenes. Not everything that happens must be played out. Set scenes and play whatever feels interesting, and skip the rest.
Fiction comes first. In this game, the story is more important than the rules. Never say anything about rules mechanics without first describing and talking about how it impacts the story. The game is not about attacking walkers and rolling for damage. It is about what these experiences bring out in your PCs and how it changes you and your perspective on this world. So, if a dice roll does not align with the story that you want to tell or where a player wants to take a PC, talk about it first before allowing the dice to dictate where the story goes.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Alrighty. This sets how we'll approach the game. Now, this is the last time I'm going to try to say this word. What do we call the zombies? The zombies, the word zombie does not exist in this world. Does the myth or anything around it. This is something that happened one day and went off, no one knows. What do we want to call our undead? We can call them walkers because everybody's used to that, and that's totally fine. And we can come up with our own name. It's like a regional thing, and accents and stuff. Other groups will have different names. What does your group call The Walking Dead? Like I said, it can still be walkers. That's fine. And it can also change. It can be several things. But I want to know, where do we start?
I got no better than Walker off the top of my head.
Jason, I did not hear you. I think you're muted.
You muted yourself.
Oh, sorry about that. I know, I keep doing that. No, I like walkers. I think it keeps to the universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll come up with some cool names. Don't worry. I already got some. I always like, the first one I was thinking was what Glenn, one of the main characters of the story, called him. I'll save it, though. I'll save it. So, okay. Last thing before I begin the narration. There are several facts about how walkers work within and how the infection is spread. This is the Walking Dead canon. In lieu of listing them, I'll tell you what you currently know or you think you know. As with this show / graphic novel, there's a lot characters learn later that they were wrong about before. So there's the facts you know or you think you know about walkers. And I'll put them in there so you guys can read them along and keep them in mind. It's not bolded like I had before. Oops. A single scratch or bite from a walker will eventually kill you and turn you into one. They can be killed by cutting off their head or destroying the brain. There must be a cure or one being worked on somewhere. Some might think this and some might not. Walkers have poor eyesight, but a heightened sense of smell and hearing. If one walker is drawn to something, other walkers in the area will be drawn to the original walker's curiosity. Let me get a drink of water. Here we go. So you got to have some cool music that opens up here. I had the song going. I'll put it in the background real lightly as I go over it. Welcome to lucasgvariety's version of The Walking Dead. This is, for lack of a better title right now, called Pure Dead Michigan. Thank you, Soundwaves Ghost, for all the inspiration and music and titles there. Pilot season, episode 1, Dead Pilot. How many hours? Okay, well, while I read this next part and narrate it, this next little part here, what we're going to see is basically clips from all over the world of basically when the outbreak started through like the first year. It'll be real quick, back and forth, showing different areas of the world: rural, commercial, residential, different people of nationalities at different times. It'll also start putting your characters and the NPC characters in there in their own lives, and just kind of go back and forth. There'll be a lot of cuts and a lot of things that gets more dramatic and crazy until we finally are coming upon the scene where we see all of you together. How many hours are in a day when you don't spend half of them watching television? When is the last time any of us really worked to get something that we wanted? How long has it been since any of us really needed something that we wanted? The world we knew is gone. The world of commerce and frivolous necessity has been replaced by a world of survival and responsibility. An epidemic of apocalyptic proportions has swept the globe, causing the dead to rise and feed on the living. In a matter of months, society has crumbled. No government, no grocery stores, no mail delivery, no cable TV. In a world ruled by the dead, we are forced to finally start living. So, It's chapter 1 of episode 1, the New Haven, day 0. Just starts out with a thunderbolt crack and just the hammering down of rain in this commercial district that we've seen before us on our maps here. And you see, well, Cass, let me ask you a question. What color is your utility truck? Say pickup truck, utility truck. What color is it?
Probably white. That's a pretty common color.
Perfect. It looks like it's a Dodge.
Well, it was white.
It was fine. It looks like it's a Dodge Ram, but they removed all the symbols and markings, so it's just not quite because they don't have enough money for that. They're not sponsored, I guess. This white pickup truck with the back seats and the large pickup people inside kind of drives swervy topsy. The engine backfires as it putters down the street from the north and coming upon this large hotel to the left. Many walkers around. It swerves between several groups of walkers, maybe even hits one and goes. Someone out the window holds like a spear tip, slicing off a couple heads, pushing a couple out of the way. They had to slow down. Again, another bolt of lightning. Thunder just smashes down. Actually, I have some of that. And
The weather's just like home.
Smashing down. Rain is just hammering. And there's pointing. And they hit something, and something goes under the truck. And suddenly the exhaust is dragging, making sparks, even on the soaked asphalt. Or the soaked asphalt of the street. And just aside from the noisy truck itself, just going as the exhaust pipe is scraping along the pavement, and they pull up onto a steep incline that goes into the parking lot of a place that they can see, a widespread parking lot, several greenhouses within a chain link fence area, and a large white building, part white, part green, but it's hard to see because the skies are black and visibility is maybe 20, 30 feet, maybe just a little bit more. Another walker goes under the tires, and they stop by these doors. And I'll put to you on the map here, right about here for you guys. I know it's irrelevant. Let's see. We'll come to the closer map here. No. I'll say where we are. I'll pin you guys right there on the map. And there are a lot of other cars still here. A lot of them are in disarray. They're not parked evenly in spaces. They're jammed up in a few spots. There's what looks like a small motorhome or a mobile home that you can drag behind your car. It looks like it's set up to be a small, like, portable restaurant. Windows are broken. Boards are smashed. Fertilizer is laying everywhere. Fertilizer and mulch from hardscaping stuff outside. And the survivors, this group of people, pull up quickly. Walkers have noticed, and they start to gather and come from up near the greenhouses or the hotel or across the street, just random ones that were there. And they hop out, the survivors. And they look at, they're like, yeah, they're screaming, like, yeah, this way, go. And there's a few walkers by the door, and they're quickly taken down. Tice the Betrayer has joined us in spirit from his bed. Thank you, sir. And a couple of walkers taken down. There's a double door, doors that would open like this, like, sliding doors, both going out. There's two sets of those from the outside. One on the north side and one on the west side, and they go in, but these doors don't work any longer. You got to pry them open. They're probably already smashed because they're glass, and they work their way into a little foyer where there's another set of doors that goes into the building proper. High ceilings, very roughed in, no drywall, all wood trimmed. Checkout lanes where you buy your groceries, and old dead house plants. Light comes in from large sky windows, or tall windows, not skylights on the ceiling, but along the very top. And it's, like I said, high ceilings, 40, maybe 50 feet tall, very peaked roof. More walkers as the group comes in. They seem coordinated. A couple step forward, / walker or two, step back. Two more step forward, / walkers. There's two kids that are with them, a boy and a girl. They stay out of the fighting. But they jump in to hand weapons that are fallen back or dropped. and otherwise stay out of the way. Walkers come up from behind. They turn quickly to dispatch the few that follow them in the building. And suddenly they're pushing carts or some large objects in front of these doors to keep the walkers out. Soaked to the bone, lightning flashing is the only thing that gives you real good light inside. But inside there are other walkers. But they see a set of stairs and they hustle up at them, kicking a few walkers down the stairs. They get upstairs. It's a small break room with a bathroom and a main office. After barricading the stairs so nothing can come up, they take a breather. They look around at each other. They look down over the top where they can see the lanes below and all the walkers. There's a woman with an eye patch, full tilt with guns, and other kinds of ammunition. A few other characters, you guys can describe them in a few minutes. They look around each other, and they kind of nod at each other. And then we're at day 1. And it shows, at this point, it shows a series of clips. Kind of where you see, like, people standing here. It's like a single shot. The shot doesn't move. And people are standing here. Then that kind of fades, and it shows the people somewhere else. And it just fades a few times. It shows gear being moved or people doing different things. And we see different shots and some action shots even that it does move, but they're slowly clearing out the place. They work. They kill walkers. They throw them outside. They re-barricade. And so there's one old, scruffy-looking dude that's just like throwing orders at a couple of the other people, and they're throwing up boards and nailing them to over broken windows or tables upended, or even the big cashier lanes, the sliding belts, pushing those up to barricade. Between killing walkers and barricading doors, we go through a couple days. Day 3, it shows. Looks like they're taking a break in the break room. And suddenly there's just this loud whoosh outside. Unmistakable noise of 1, 2, maybe 3 motorcycles revving up. Just a full blast as they crank off from a nearby area. Just screaming down the road. And everybody looks at each other. The police officer, young lady looking girl, goes with binoculars to the nearest window that she could try to look around, but doesn't have a good vantage point. Is looking for a way to get to the roof. You can tell she's been working on trying to find a way up, a hatch to get out. And different people have just doing things. I'm keeping it kind of vague because we still don't know what everybody's doing yet. But that's it. Day 4 goes by, and everybody seems to be kind of kept up in the break room where it's safe. So I found some running water in the sink, in the toilet. Hooked to the city, it still works. It's still kind of dirty, but it's water, and water is great. And as it's dark outside on day 4. They hear a different type of noise from outside. Besides the occasional gunshot or the of the Walking Dead, they hear that. And I can't do it very well. My mouth's too dry, but that is definitely the sound of a helicopter. The blades whirling, not too distant to replace. And they take off again. Day 5. Morning. Everybody's just getting up. Whoever's on watch is coming back. And everybody else is kind of woken up as they hear, a lot closer than last time, yesterday, the sounds of the helicopter, or a helicopter, real close. And then it seems to make some kind of like a different sound, and maybe it's pitch, the way it's turning or flying. And then it starts to move away. And then a few moments later, you hear the thump of something large hitting the roof. And I will open the story to you. You're all up on the second floor in a small break room area, able to look down into the store, part of it. Stairs are well barricaded. We'll say, for sake of NPCs and other people, that Scruffy and Isabella and a few of the NPCs got an early start as you're trying to clear out the greenhouses, a couple of them, to broaden your area, and they're out doing that, leaving the three of you, and we'll say the two kids and Doris, who's kind of like the leader, the co-leader. So we'll say Robert, the young kid, Angela, the young girl, and Doris are the three up here with you. And you three. What do you do?
Hmm.
Here we go.
Well, I mean, Wyatt's always been a loner. He's always just kind of by himself, but pulls out his pistol and pistol. I believe I have a pistol. The hell was that?
Oh,
I don't think you have a
you
pistol.
didn't start with pistol.
Shit.
I have
I
a
didn't start
pistol,
with a
but
pistol.
I was going to put into the Haven storage so you could get a pistol. That was what that was going to be.
Gotcha. Yep, I don't have anything. So I'm just sitting there. The heck?
So let me store that in the Haven's character sheet real quick, if it'll let me.
If not, I can click and
'Cause
drag
I
him
would-
a pistol onto his character sheet if you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you just do that, por favor?
This keeps doing it to me. I have the Walking Dead content in here, but it says I can't load up the content right now. So I will find it in the book and copy paste it in the Discord for you.
Okay.
If you'll give me just a moment while you guys kind of, the two kids are kind of like in one corner. They slept next to each other. They're startled awake too with the thump, we'll say. And the kid immediately wakes up and like, he looks like he's breathing a little hard. And the girl's like, it's okay, Robert. Doris gets up. She has her assault rifle. She's like, what was that? To echo Wyatt.
I probably make sure Robert is fully calmed. I don't need him having a panic attack on top of whatever's on the roof.
And what you've learned about Robert is he is asthmatic. He has an inhaler, but he just has the one, and he's had it for a while.
Okay. I've removed the pistol from my sheet and put it into stored gear.
Oh, well, if you can get it.
I mean, it's just, I think he has, don't know how you move stuff regularly. I just had to add it because I can't. I'm not GM.
Okay. Well, I'll just,
Yeah.
I'll piecemeal it into the chat real quick. Don't worry.
Yeah. It's just a pistol.
No, I got it. Oh.
Okay.
I think I just got it. Hang on here.
Well, all right. +2.
Oh, no, it did not.
Don't worry, I got
That
you.
button did not do what I thought it did.
It's in our.
It's no longer on the sheet.
I may have just deleted it, actually, accidentally, from the Haven.
Yeah. Yeah,
Don't
just add
press
it to your sheet then.
Little.
You have a. You know what? There's actually like a refrigerator. I just know this because I know this place very well. It's an employee break room, so there's a refrigerator up there. And we'll say that some of your extra gear has been thrown in there as Wyatt. Yes, we know, Scruffy, thank you. No one touches Scruffy's toolbox. So you got it with you, don't worry. Wyatt opens the refrigerator. Why opens the refrigerator to find your shared supplies, your rations, and the things that you keep guarded within a group. So it's never alone with probably one person. Probably 2 or 3 people are always around it. And there's the pistol there as you grab that and a spare clip. Like, Cass, I'm sorry. I'm going to come back to you. So Robert's breathing heavily, and you are...
Yeah, no worries.
What do you do? Did you say you went to comfort him?
Me?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, calm him down because panic attacks make asthma worse. I'm also probably going to be doing a check to make sure to see if he requires his inhaler yet or if we could probably hold him off.
Oh yeah. So he immediately goes for it. He noticed that he's kind of trigger happy on going for his inhaler right away. So as Angela's like, it's okay. Wait, Robert, wait. Hold on. Just breathe. And you come over. If you'd like to do our very first roll of the game. You can
Yep.
definitely do.
This is when I get to admit I don't know how to roll stuff on Roll20.
No, that's okay. What we're gonna do is you're in your character sheet. No one has any stress, and you just go down to medicine, and click on medicine itself, and it should bring up a little box to roll to say if you're gonna add bonuses or negatives.
Yep.
And then there's no bonus or anything right now, so you're just rolling 8 dice. Because the 3 for medicine and the 5 for empathy, which is under. And I don't have a roll screen up, so we'll just say, okay. Our first roll, we're going to say it out loud because anybody watching might not see the dice rolls all the time. 8 dice. 6s are successes in this game. There were 0 successes here. And I'll bring this up now. We'll ease into the mechanics. Every individual roll can be pushed once. That's where you dig in, and if you say it, you narrate it like, I'm going to check even harder or do this even harder. You can push your roll, but pushing the roll means you roll all the non-successes, but you get 1 stress die added to it, a separate pool of dice, which can help you. But when you roll a 1 on a stress dice, that's when bad things happen. It's called rolling a walker. So you have no stress. You can let it go. You can push it, but beware of the pushing because the stress will add up quickly. It will always accumulate 1 more stress. Cass?
Yeah, I think I'll let it go if he's going to use this inhaler.
He hasn't used it
I don't think now's the time for more stress.
Okay. He hasn't used it yet, and you can intervene, but he's going for it. You just can't tell if he needs it.
Chronic conditions like that, often the sufferer knows best. So I'll probably stay near just to make sure it works, but I don't think now's the time for more stress before we figure out what the hell is on the roof.
Absolutely. And he goes, after he shakes it, I'm okay. And he's listening to it. He's like,
okay.
I don't know how much is left, though. And
We'll have to... I can go digging through my bag later, but now's not the time. Right, mate? Calm?
yeah, I'm getting there. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, doctor. And Angela puts her hand on your arm. She's like, thank you. And then meanwhile, Doris is like, all right.
I smile at being called doctor.
Yep. You're a medical person. So here's a good time. Let's introduce, and we can see it on the screen, we actually really can't see who they are on the screen. So I'll go to the other one real quick. Go ahead. As we see your characters for the first time, we got Angela, who's the girl. She's got a Latina background there. Young girl's about 16. And Robert's typical kind of redhead, freckles, 14. Doris, she's in her mid-50s, and she looks like she has authority and knows what she's doing. She's also... her hair's cut short. She might wear a ball cap. She has an assault rifle, hand grenades, camouflage gear, just all kinds of equipment up in a corner. And she has an eye patch. And she's like, we've got to find a way up there. I think Bella found a way up to the roof yesterday. She just didn't get up there, but we need to get up there. And they're busy on the greenhouse. She looks at 3 of you. As you guys are taking action, why don't you let us see a little bit of like who your character is, maybe what they look like, or we want to find out immediately about them. But she looks at the 3 of you, kind of like, what are you guys going to do about it?
Well, so Caitlin is also of the doctor type persuasion. She's got some remnants of a medical coat mixed in her clothing, mostly patches and whatnot now because, gotta get out of Dodge. You gotta get in a hurry sometimes. She's in her late 30s, got shoulder-length red hair that's now very wispy because of damage and just, There's obviously not a lot of shampoo and conditioner in this world anymore. But action-wise, in this situation, she kind of just nods to that idea. Like, she doesn't really chip in any knowledge because she wasn't really paying attention to what Isabella was doing. They're friends, but she doesn't like crowd purse people that much. So she's just like, yeah, she didn't say anything yet, but let me go where I know where she went, what direction she was before, so I'll go look there. So she kind of shrugs. Other than that, I have no idea. We do got to get up there, but not my area expertise. Building.
Yeah.
Who goes?
Yeah.
You can explore well enough.
Cassandra Cass Mackenzie. Cassandra Cass Mackenzie is a woman, probably mid to late 20s. She's got very short brown hair, which it looks like she cuts it herself, and it looks like she's not very good at cutting her own hair. Once she's seen that Robert's all right, she reaches over to her stuff, jams on a really battered Akubra hat, which is Australia's answer to the cowboy hat, grabs her. It's not a traditional first aid kit or medical bag. It looks like it was some sort of hand luggage at one point. That is now, she's drawn a cross in permanent marker and wrote first aid on it. Grabs that and goes, hefts it over her shoulder and goes, get upstairs, see what's going on up there.
If you would be so kind, I'll stay here with the youngins. Let Izza know when she comes back.
Yeah.
Wyatt gets up. He's a loner. He's early 40s, scruffy. Looks like he's just been out on his own for a while. Some camo, flannel, patched together. Always carries a spear with him. Now he has a pistol that he found. Well, that he pulled out of the fridge or whatever we're storing stuff in.
That's what I thought. Fridge. It's not being used for anything else right now.
It's got a little like officer's duty belt. It's already got some handcuffs on it, and so he puts the pistol in there, and might as well follow behind.
Good.
But he's carrying a spear, or he's got a spear rather than the pistol as his weapon of choice.
The spear at the ready.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. It's what we saw in some of the earlier clips. You know, you were one of the men, one of the guys, like sometimes in the forefront of the battle, pushing walkers away from the length of that thing, or sometimes stabbing over the shoulder of a buddy when they're close combat, because you can reach them with your long, with the length of your spear, working in tandem, keeping them back. She's like, and then Angela stands up. She's like, well, if Robert's okay and Doris is staying here, I'll go with you. My sister's taught me.
That's a good idea.
What's that? What'd you say?
That's a good idea. She'll probably kill us if anything happens to you.
Oh yeah, your co-leader, as we've it'll be established. This when everybody's here. That Isabella, your young police officer, whose younger sister this is right here, is kind of co-leading with Doris. But as is out in the greenhouses with Scruffy, and I think who else is that? Kai and Damien. They went out. There's like these vague switch back and forth through the scenes. We'll get to that next time we play. She's like, I'll go with you. Could use extra searching. I'm quick on my feet. She goes, I think my sister. Oh yeah, so her sister, she would know, I would say, because her sister was the one that was looking for. He's already made mention of it, but her sister was already looking for a way to get roof access. And she goes, I was down there with her yesterday. And at this point, we've seen like most of the main store has been cleared out. For now, the main building has been clear. She goes, it's downstairs all the way to the other side where the old security room was. They have a roof access there. Oh, actually, no. What would make more sense? She goes, there's that. We found that the other day, but if we don't mind getting a ladder, and there's ladders around, just outside. So I should probably draw the map, but your setup is you can overlook to the lanes below, and there's, like I said, there's a bathroom that's enclosed, and a little break area with tables and a couch, chairs. But at the top of the stairs that you came up there, there's also like a glass door that you go through that's locked, and when you go back in there, there's the main offices, the desks, the extra clothing for the employees, all the paperwork. And there's a door on the other side of that that goes outside the building down like a fire escape, like a big long ladder. Because, regulations, you have to have that. So if you want right outside that door, the roof is, 4 or 5 feet above you to get on it because it's slanted. You could ladder up there and walk. Or you can make your way across the store up into the security room where there's supposed to be a ladder that goes out to the roof. Easier climb, but further away. Either way, Angela's like, I'd like to go with you. I know where my sister was on the other side of the store. I want to help. But wherever you want to go. And Doris like,
I'm easy, doesn't matter to me.
Doris looks at Wyatt. She's like, you got the spear. Why don't you make the decision?
Right, Caitlin has a spear too. She's
No.
Oh, does she?
Go ahead, because I am not a leader. So I'm like, I'm not making that decision.
Okay. Well, I'm not trudging up there today. My eye's been giving me fits, and it's the only one I got. I'm just afraid I'm going to fall off the roof. She looks at Caitlin.
Caitlin she just sighs. Nods. We'll go. You go do whatever it is you're doing. You take a rest. Keep an eye. And she raises her eyebrow. Down there, okay?
She chuckles like, you know it.
She shakes her head with a chuckle. It's like, all right, guys, look, let's just go up there, see what's going on. It's just another day here. Who knows what's up there? Hopefully it's something. Let's just hope it's not something super terrible as usual shows up, and let's go from there. And I guess either a scout or a.
Well, I want to know which
something of that nature.
I want to know which way you're going first.
She was going to try to just go the way that she believes Isabella did, not a new way, like a possible made to do this way instead of make her own way out there.
Are you talking about the right outside to the roof access on the long stairs?
Yeah.
Okay. As you open the door. Short way? Okay. You open the door and there's a long, it probably goes diagonally for many feet. And right down below you is several of the greenhouses. I'll show you, I kind of put it on the map here. The side of the building, you come out right on this top right corner of the green building. And the long staircase goes down, and it's on the cement floor with that first greenhouse right there. Look above you, looking around, your group is in that first greenhouse that's nearby. They could get there quickly. They're working there. They might actually be working down towards the big one on the north side. But they're too far right now without hollering and attracting more walkers, because there are still walkers around the property outside. You don't have the outside locked down yet. That's what they're trying to do. You only have the immediate building.
That bloody helicopter isn't helping things.
No, probably not. You don't hear it now, of course, but it was right overhead a few minutes ago. And below you, there's 2 or 3 walkers just kind of roaming around, but they're not alerted. I'm supposed to keep a threat level here. I guess the threat level would be 0 at this point because they don't really notice you and there's not that many. But yeah, the roof is right there. You kind of got to reach up or have someone give you a boost or use a ladder. Otherwise, make some type of agility like roll to climb up there. Agility or strength. You get to name the roll, however you do it. And if you're all doing the same type of action and someone fails, if someone else has more than one success, they can share successes with others in certain times. So Caitlin rolls 4 successes and the other 2 to get 0. She might be like, here's one for each of you. You usually only need 1 success, sometimes 2 or more if it's real extreme or crazy. But I'm not going to go crazy right yet. Just like I say, we're going to ease into everything. So
All right.
what's the best course of action? You can try to grab up. Find a way to
Let me read
If
what
someone
this
wants to
thing
give me a
is.
boost, I can attempt a semi-dignified clamber.
I can use my agility to give her do like a.
Caitlin will nod, basically like grab onto the railing and kind of lean down so you can kind of, the other people can help you get on her shoulders type of thing.
Yep,
Stable
yeah,
as we
I'm
can.
certainly more agile than I am strong.
Same.
So, quick clamber.
All right, so then if that's the case, before you make a roll, we should make sure to talk about it. You're going up first, and you're getting assistance from who? Caitlin?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Caitlin's narrating how she's giving you a boost. That will give you an automatic +1 die or a bonus of a +1 when you make the roll. And you can pick. What kind of roll were you thinking? Let's get your character sheet up here. Something like
Agility. Definitely agility.
So it'd be under agility. So probably mobility then?
Agility. Yeah.
Because you don't typically roll the top 4. It's just whatever's underneath, but it'll add the agility dice to it. So you'd be rolling 4 dice plus 1 bonus from Caitlin. So that'll give you like 5 dice to roll. And this is just for you to clamber.
Okay, so 1.
So you just click the mobility word,
Definitely.
and then it'll pop up and just add +1 in there.
Second roll of the game.
1 bonus
also
die.
by
Yep.
Cassandra. Also for no successes.
That's tough. Don't get discouraged.
All right, so I'm going to give you a choice. You can be successful, but you're loud doing it, and you clamber up onto this metal slanted roof. Or you can be unsuccessful and come down on Caitlin kind of in a small pile, but not enough to have made a lot of noise.
Or you can choose to push.
Or you can choose to push and do it again, taking 1 stress.
Mm. I'm happy to go A over T in the most undignified way.
Yes.
So
It's my favorite British expression ever. I mean no offense. Huh?
How dare you?
Oh, that was not. Oh, we'll have that conversation offline. My apologies. I
No,
did not realize.
everything they gave us is ours.
Oh, you're okay. Yes, okay. My bad.
I'm an Aussie.
Yes, you are. As soon as you said that, gave us, I knew exactly what it was. So, which I like Aussies better, anyways.
Yeah.
You're closer to the
More fun.
Kiwis. We love Kiwis too. Anyways, I apologize.
I'm Bluey.
Hey, off subject. Fourth wall
No worries.
broken. Back to the game.
So
Yeah, so I probably go A over T.
you fall into a pile onto Caitlin.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently.
She hikes up, first time
God.
misses, falls back. And I don't want to narrate everything. You can narrate how it looks and feels and everything too. You don't really alert anybody, but you just fall down on top of Caitlin.
Probably half twisted ankle, end up on my back, and do the most undignified somersault and end up, my back, legs in the air. Ended on my medical bag.
Oh, ouch.
This is why I never climb trees.
Angela steps in. She's like, this is why I came. Hike me up there. I'm light. I'm the light, and I have nothing on me. Just hike me up there.
No.
It's just
I'm not very
big
strong,
size.
so
I mean, it's only about
Neither
4.
am I.
It's only about 4 feet. You just got to give someone put their boot in your hand and lift him up there.
all right.
It's harder.
I'll try it.
Okay. So so you'll make the roll then.
All right, I'll make a roll.
It could be
I'm
strength.
happy to temporarily.
What did you roll?
Nope.
I was going to say I'm
I
happy
don't-
to temporarily hold any weapons.
Rolled my
Strength.
strength.
No, I'm sorry. You wouldn't roll strength. That's why. You have to pick a roll below that.
Oh,
Or something. You have to tell me what it is first so we can see it, and then.
What you doing?
oh, my bad. I guess I'm pulling her up, so that would be force. Forcing her up. So
Whoa.
basically,
All right. Wait, are you doing? Wait, is this
All
for
right.
the girl?
Yeah.
Or for Cass?
yeah, for the light girl.
Okay, Angela. Okay, she's like,
Yep.
come on, Wyatt, get me up there.
All right, I'll try. And I try, and I roll the same exact thing as I rolled before.
Now, why do you? That doesn't seem right on your character
He-
sheet.
I don't know
You don't have a.
what's going
You
on
don't have
there.
a push button there. First of all.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
up with this character sheet?
something done broke. Because I did have a push button before.
Well, I rolled 2 4s because it's only
And it does the same thing.
2 dice.
It's just him. Well, I haven't rolled, so I don't know if it's just him.
I'm just doing these. Yeah, but you don't have the push button there.
It's on all of them.
All right, don't worry about.
So that's all right.
1 second.
I've got the push button.
Go off.
Show off.
Just kidding.
Show off. Nope, and you might have to make a new character, like copied over to a new sheet.
Oh.
Yeah,
Want
just
me to
maybe
try and
some-
push it?
I mean,
Oh, you mean you see the? Do you see a push button?
no, we don't. We see the same thing you do.
Got a
is that
push
two-
button
Oh,
on
it's
mine.
out.
I don't see. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't.
you
I
don't-
don't see it
yeah.
on
You don't
yours.
wanna,
On
you don't want
yours,
to do it because it will
there's just
automatically
a-
raise your stress when you push it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and that gets just if you forget to leave it there, it's going to be a mess. Yeah.
All right.
see your push button. It's just a maybe some sort. God,
It's a
I
link
don't know
to
what
something.
it is, but I've got a push button.
Yes, whatever the
Yeah,
macro
push
is,
button.
isn't loading on his for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's weird.
Because let me click mine. Nope, I'm getting it too.
Uh-oh.
That's weird.
Yep,
Yeah, because we haven't changed anything since.
we started. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was working last time.
Yep.
Should we exit the game and come back in?
Well, I'm doing that just for myself.
Yeah, I was going to as well.
All right.
Eh.
We'll reload. That is so weird. Well, we'll hand type them in if we have
Do I
to.
get out?
We won't let it be a distraction too long. So we'll hand type it if we have to, like,
Yeah.
get them out. And then you do another one for the stress dice if you have any at that point, but no one has any stress dice yet. And if not, we'll have to figure out why it's going all wonky. I don't get that.
Yep. Closing out and come back in. Didn't
Full
fix
house
it.
fails.
It may just be our characters, sheets. What's Scruffy different than us? Let's see.
Scruffy says his does not seem broken.
Yeah, his isn't broken.
All right.
Let me change something. No ability was found.
Well, either way. Jason, why don't you type in /R space and then 2d6? Because that was your force. Try rolling again that way. Just by hand.
The only thing I changed was the commas around the 38. Like Scruffy, he has Scruffy dash space 53. I had Caitlin parentheses 38, and I changed it to the dash instead. So
Where?
you need that
Dash.
at the end of your name.
You're up on. Yeah, it looks like you're up on the roof.
So yeah, just take that comma, the parentheses away, and try it.
Wait a second.
I took it off Wyatt.
Are you changing it, look?
I did.
Luke.
Yay.
I did.
Try it again. Boom.
Oh, there we go. One success.
And success. Okay, look at that. That's fine. We're gonna take that. You're like, whew. She's like, whoa, and she onto the roof and lands. She's like, whoa, and she slips. You see her foot slip, and she almost falls off for a second, but she grabs and comes on. Everything is still soaking wet. The rain has already stopped. Is stopped this morning, but it's been raining for the last 5 days, 6 days. Everything is soaked and drenched. There's a lot of buckets and things outside that are full of water. But the roof is slippery. And the sky is, it's morning, but the sky is still dark, very gray, very cloudy. You hear a little bit of thunder in the distance. You probably think, there's light sprinkles here and there. Probably, like the rain is held off, but it's probably going to start again soon. She's on the roof. She's like, all right, I'll look ahead. Or you want me to wait for you?
Caitlin will say, just wait for one of us, really softly, and then she'll try to go up on her own.
Okay.
Want me to temporarily, I know you said you had a spear, want me to hold your weapon and pass it up once you successfully get on the roof?
She nods. She got a spear.
That'll give you a +1, we'll say.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you got one.
I got one.
And you're up.
So she kind of
pass it up.
She kind of does where her hands were before. She just literally just kind of hoops up onto the railing and then up the rest of the way, because that way she doesn't have to fight gravity as much because she's halfway up. But if she had failed, it would be because she would have went dong and then off the side. So risk reward there.
I think with 2 of you on the roof, each working to pull the next person up and then the next. If you want to wait for them, unless you want to move ahead, you could pull the other 2.
No,
up.
she's definitely going to make sure, because the worst thing is
I'm
having
happy
them
to
fall from the ladder.
This fall would probably be.
Yeah, I'm happy to.
That was fine. You can get up. That's fine. I was going to say the fall is at least 30 feet, maybe more, if you fell off, and that spells bad news.
Yeah, I don't want to
Let
fall
me just
off.
Google what that is in meters.
Times 3.
That's about 10 meters. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's what
Divide by.
Yeah, I'm willing to be dragged up and then climb up.
You can hold on to the spear as you have it.
Probably.
And then Wyatt's up too, and the 4 of you are on the roof. Now the roof is slanted, and it pitches. It's right down the middle, north and south, and it slants almost 45 degrees, probably pretty close. There's that big white area in the middle that are 2 gigantic, basically fans that move the air through and force the air conditioning area throughout. So there's kind of that big block, and you can't see past that or over the peak on the other half of the roof. But you can see all the way down your side until it hits the white roof of the next part of the building. But the sound didn't come from that far down. It came from, you guys are right about on this corner, and it came from somewhere on the other side of the roof or beyond the white utility box on the very top. It is slippery.
Where are we? Where are we? Sorry.
No, it's fine. Let me just zoom in. I will zoom in on the closer map here. I'm gonna ping you guys right in that corner.
Oh, we're over.
Okay.
Let me switch to my other map so anybody else watching can see. And yeah, so you're right about there. And the sound you heard came from somewhere over on the other side. The biggest part is it's a little slippery. Like I said, it threatens rain again.
I'm just going to use the HVAC system as cover there. So we're right here, coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So just come through behind the HVAC system here, climb over whatever this is.
Okay.
And then just come this way.
Okay.
Caitlin nods. Sounds good.
Yeah, as we're
Let's
moving,
keep
I'm
quiet,
notably
just
going
in
to keep
case
my
it's one of them.
hands. Yeah, I'm going to keep my hands empty, just so that if I start to slide, I've got
Caitlin has
the
her
best
spear.
possible chance of.
All right. Are you all trying to stay quiet?
I am.
Yes, I'm using
Yeah.
stealth.
All right, so everybody's training stealth, or has stealth. Let me. I'm looking at the NPC sheet. So stealth. If you guys want to make a group stealth roll, this is where you can't assist everybody else because you're all doing it yourself. But if you have extra successes, you can pass them out to each other. So, for example, Angela actually is trained in stealth.
Mm-hmm.
She gets 0 successes though, so she's not too noisy, but neither is she sneaky enough to not be detected by something that's nearby.
I gave her mine.
Okay, you follow her. She starts to slip a little bit, and you catch her. Maybe. Actually, I should narrate
Bumps
this.
her with it.
Yeah.
Actually, that's exactly what happens. Is she starts to slip because you can narrate what she was doing, and then I'm behind her going, a little butt of the spear going down. Just like slow down.
It roll my mobility again. No.
What was that?
Yeah, unsurprisingly, no successes.
All right, it's not you're not usually as sneaky as Wyatt and Angela. It, what happens?
I think I mentioned this in the past. I'm probably a little bit hearing impaired, and it's really hard to
Yeah.
try and get your footsteps quiet.
Yeah. And
It's all good.
they kind of pad across, but yeah, Cass is a little hard to hear. We kind of tell maybe from whatever the accent or just the way she turns her head to look at people when they're communicating with her. Just the visual cues and things. So you stomp up the roof a little bit harder than everybody else. And you guys don't, and as you get behind the HVAC system, she's made a little bit of noise. And if someone's over there, they might know you're there. But you got up behind. You're safely in cover. From your vantage point, you can see quite a bit of the nearby city. Spatterings of walkers. And this is a good time to bring up that as you look to your east, which is, if we're looking at the map, of course, over to the right, much beyond this little wooded area over here to the far end of the map, something happened. It's before you got into Grand Ledge, or maybe if you guys were local, you maybe heard it at some point, but it looks like the equivalent of a mini nuke went out. When we cross over that line, we're suddenly in Fallout instead of The Walking Dead. But the city, as far as north or south or east you can see, looks like it was pummeled at some point with a barrage of, and I don't know all the different types of missiles and bombs, but it got hit hard by a lot of explosives from the air and it's just destroyed that way. It's like a wasteland of rubble and debris and bits of walkers and what's left of cars. Like it's unpassable with a vehicle. It would take you hiking over a lot of rough terrain. Also, it's where the map cuts off, but that's not important. Excuse me. But it looks bad that way. But you guys are on top. That way you can see. What do you do now?
I think Caitlin looks between Cassandra and Wyatt and kind of points like that, like both ends, and she'll start sliding like her back to the thing towards the middle. That way, when they look, they can all look together, just in case there's something on the opposite side doing the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I might not be stealthy, but I'm decent at looking at things. So.
Yep. She just, when everybody gets kind of slid over, that's when she'll just thumbs up, and we'll all just, I guess, try to look it together, scout it. You're playing mechanics.
That works.
Because there's no way that we're all going to be amazingly stealthy and see things and all that stuff. We're not superheroes. We're people. So the more of us that get eyes on, the more likely we are to see something.
Angela actually
Don't
gets
worry, they already know I'm coming.
Hey, we rolled up the carpet for you. We heard you're in town. As you guys all get ready to peek around the different various corners and over top, Angela gets down on her tummy, real. She's real thin and she's young and gets real flat, even though she's getting her clothes wet by laying on the roof. But she gets down like pancake to look over the top, just barely like an eyeball over. As you all look at the same time, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Pom, pom, pom. It's actually, as you kind of get up there and start to look around, you see something flutter up in the air and it spooks you. Take a step back, and it's like a gigantic cloth with strings. It takes you a moment to realize it's a parachute fluttering, attached to some weight. And as you look a little further, as you look over the top, you follow the strings down, and this parachute is fluttering and poofy in the wind. Someone can make a scout check if they wish.
I do.
Anybody who wants to make a scout check may. At this point.
I've got to pass something at some time.
That's the idea.
Caitlin's got
Sometime.
one.
Back of that.
Everybody got
Hey!
one? Okay.
We have eyes at work here today.
That's good. Well, first of all, it comes down and the parachute is attached to a person who's laying face down on the roof. It's that type of piloting gear you can't quite make out fully because it's just far enough away. But the parachute has been deployed. It hangs and it kind of moves the body when a gust of wind picks up a little bit, kind of shifts the body slightly, slides down a little bit towards the edge of the roof. But what your scout roll tells you is that you can see through that to the street below on the west side. And this flapping in the wind and making the sound and also the being a large visual has attracted the attention of some walkers across the way. And although you're way up on the roof and you've barricaded the lower Alps,
They're still going to come.
So across the way, which way? Can you
can see like basically across the street this way. I don't have your map extended here.
Oh, this way.
Fully.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's all
We got
commerce.
time, but we need to do something.
This store lays on an intersection of one of the busiest intersections in and around Lansing. So the east and west road is called Saginaw Highway, and it's very busy thoroughfare. And the north and south here is a generally busy road, but it's right next to where you get on the highway or the expressway, whatever you call it, the freeway sometimes. And so it's right there, a really good ideal location. So busy with traffic back in the day. A lot of buildings, that means, and a lot of walkers. And they see this parachute fluttering in the wind and a person laying face down. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Still look at the
Does
others.
the person look?
They look like they're laying on their face.
That could be a walker.
How far away is he?
That edge of the roof.
It's going probably about I would say right about here, about 2/3 of the way down towards the roof. As every time the wind picks up, the body kind of slumps towards the edge a little bit more. Probably about 20 feet away. We'll say 30. But
Assuming it's not a walker, it's prone. I'm going to go up to it. I'm going to see if I can go up to it at spear point and grab it before it slides. I was going to cut off the parachute.
Yeah. I was going to try and chuck something at it first to see.
Wait, go ahead, Cass.
I should probably go and try and administer first aid. If one of you would be kind enough to cover me in case he jumps up.
Caitlin will turn over to the girl and let her know, hey, listen.
Angela?
If this guy's alive, we're going to need to get him down. So start figuring out a good way to get him down while we figure out if he's still alive or one of them. Basically, she doesn't want to see her if they have to go over there and ace this guy.
Well, this girl's seen a lot so far, but I understand.
Yeah, she don't care. She doesn't care.
So
she's seen it all.
I mean, if we can salvage the parachute, they're made of very smooth material. You could improvise a slide sheet with that if we can save the parachute.
Yeah. Well, she was just saying that to Angela. Oh, she gets over to you and she's like, I was just trying to make sure if we have to mercy this guy, she doesn't have to sit here and watch us do it.
Yeah. I was thinking if we cut the parachute and it goes, I mean, it's not going to go far, but hopefully If the walkers like the parachute, maybe they'll go after that and not come to the building. Then we can get it later. And then it's not going to drag them off the
I
side
say,
either.
Let's
yeah,
prioritize
if I
the
mean,
dude.
I don't want one of you to be. Yeah, I don't want one of you to be blown off the roof.
Yeah.
Huh.
Let's prioritize the dude, and if the parachute can be saved safely, we'll do that because it's material that we don't have. But let's figure out what's going on with this guy first, and then she'll go with them to check him out.
So you're seeing if he's alive or not first before cutting the parachute.
Yeah, because either way, we're going to have to do something with him. But we're getting the idea that if this is a about to rise zombie, the parachute's still a bad thing for us because it's still dragging people up here. But he may just go away. As in, if it's a living dude that we could save before he turns into a walker, or yeah, you never know.
Do you want to tell me while I do the standard chairway breathing,
Yep, she nods.
etc., etc.?
So you guys, so there's no initiative or turn order. It's just a narrative. How do you do? So if Jason
Yeah.
or Wyatt.
What I'm assuming is happening is Cass is going to do the medical check, the wellness check, basically, pulse, stuff like that. While I make sure if he is dead, he just doesn't yard up and just bite.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone would be there to stab. And I'm assuming Wyatt was going to be, well, let's figure a way to get this parachute off of him irregardless because we need it to stop attracting shit.
Okay.
Stuff.
I sent you a message.
Yep, we got it. Now this is the kind of thing where I think, Jason, you can share this out of character.
Okay.
But this is something like in character, like their characters wouldn't necessarily know. Like this is what I'm going to be doing, if you wish, because then we just make some rolls and go with it.
Yeah. So just being in character, my character doesn't care what you're thinking. He's cutting the parachute.
Okay.
And that's not being mean. That's me role playing.
Yes, that's
Sorry.
Caitlin.
No problem.
Yeah, Caitlin was assuming you're going to do that regardless. So.
I want someone to cut that parachute.
Okay.
That's what we need.
It's bad for us either way to be out
Yeah,
here fluffing around.
Now who gets there first? And you guys decide.
Yeah,
this early.
I'm probably.
I would assume Cass because she's heavier footed and faster, and we're going down a slope.
Probably.
We've established now that she's a little heavier of foot, and we're going down a slope. So
you get there first. The body lies in
If
front
I
of
need
you.
to slide on my butt, I will. Okay, I'm going to start doing the checks. Airway, breathing, pulse. If he's face down, I'm going to use the toe of my boot and try and push him onto his back.
Okay. Whatever roll you want to make that you think is appropriate here to do all of this.
there's a medicine check.
Medicine.
Medicine's good. I think medicine's sound medicine.
Yes. I do have sound of medicine.
Sound of medicine. You are sound of medicine. Ooh.
Boom.
I'm an excellent triage nurse.
Okay, and actually, so in this game, when you have the stress dice, which roll separately, and you can roll those ones. When you roll ones on those, you mess up, right? You get to roll a walker. Rolling extra ones doesn't make it extra bad, but on the opposite, more successes is better for you. Compounding interest there, or you delve them out to other people in certain situations. But anyways, so not only as you get up there, he's not moving at all. No breathing. This person, no breathing at all. No movement of the body, except there is a little bit of a twitch at one point. But you can tell as you are getting up there with the lack of breathing, but still even as you tow him over, you know that it's a walker. How fast he turned as you pick him over, and he's like, ah. But the legs seem to be broken as you boot this thing over, and it's ugly face, but he's got a helmet on, like a pilot, a dead pilot. Has the helmet on with the speaker that comes up by his mouth and the visor, but his mouth is bare, and it snaps at your boot. but you were able to pull away and scoot back in time because your success is like, he's dead already. Oh, no, he's walker dead. And you pull back well in time, but it turns and starts to pull itself towards you, not able to use its legs. The parachute kicks up again in a breeze and it kind of pulls him down. What do you guys do?
Well, Caitlin stabs for his face. She's just sigh. Her most used emotion, sigh. Poke.
Does this happen at the same time Wyatt is cutting
Code
parachute?
W, code W.
Yes.
It probably is, yes.
You guys want to roll Well, what do you think narratively the roll order should be?
Honestly, I think the order is immaterial in this one because we were both just walking up and doing this basically at this point because he was already in the motions of cutting the thing and I was literally playing Overwatch for Cass. So as soon as Cass was like and back away, I'm just like
All right, you go first then.
stab him forward.
You go
All
first with it. Give me a roll because we have to make sure it's.
I'm going to push that.
First push. That's 0 successes. Push is taking 1 dice. No walkers, but gets a success. He's just like. You tell me. What's it look like? I have to give this over.
I mean, as she stabs and the chute pulls and the chute has been pulling him gently because it's been even. He was laid on top of it, and so the chute couldn't probably open the full way because the strings have to be in their right configuration. Because I've watched these guys do parachutes in the Air Force all the time. There's reasons for the way they're designed, and in this case, it was half collapsed because it couldn't open fully because there's a body laying on everything, so the things couldn't open right. Then we flipped it over, fixed that issue. Now the thing starts to open to the full canopy, so he's getting slid back, and that's on his shoulders is part of where it's attached because it's a strap across the chest and the shoulders and it's all one thing. So he gets pulled up and I'm just literally lifting him on up to what his feet would have been with the spear. So I'm just going upwards, like starting here-ish and just pushing up.
It's like
going for the soft meats.
first walker death recorded by Caitlin Kahn. Officially in character. Wyatt?
Agree on an emergency code for first aiding walkers. My mistake.
Oh, you're all good.
So
She just holds him there, so because he can't slide as long as I'm not sliding, and she kind of just sighs again and looks to Wyatt and see if Wyatt can get this chute off of him, so it's no longer an issue.
So I was approaching this as a survival check because I feel that if I don't cut this, that the walkers are going to see us and come in.
All right. You can try anything once.
You succeed.
I got 1 success.
Quick slash. There's like double spear movement going on here. I love that in tandem spear. Stab, slice. Parachute flies away into the wind as there's another storm upcoming. We see some walkers below. We're looking like, they're like, as it flutters away. And some begin to turn around. Some of the ones that have approached, maybe not everyone, but of maybe the 20 or 30 that were coming, the majority have kind of like followed this as it flutters over the street, going over to the municipal buildings that are across the way, a couple of the city government buildings. Excuse me. And it flutters that way with the west wind. Actually, it's
like children chasing a balloon.
Yeah, or I guess an east wind blowing, which coming from the east means it might be a little bit more torrential coming from the east in this area, as it does blow from the east to the west, blowing it way over there. I forgot how to talk about wind there temporarily. Oh well. Cass.
See the helicopter?
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was just asking, I assume dressed like a pilot, do we see the helicopter?
You have not seen a helicopter. Is dressed like a pilot, though. Does not look like a military pilot. Looks like possibly commercial or private. But I was going to give you something else with your good medical roll before. as you now that he's dead, you get a closer look. He's got the parachute backpack still on. Maybe his pockets could be rifled through. We'll get to that in a second. You can see clearly as you get close that there is an entrance wound on one side of his neck and a bigger exit wound on the other. Usually this comes from a gunshot. Right through one side of his from one side of the neck out the other side. And it doesn't look...
So he didn't die from the drop.
It's not the fall that kills you. It's that sudden hit at the ground. No.
The sudden inexorable stop at the end. Yeah.
It looks as though...
Yeah, that didn't kill.
His walker-ness is fresh, and the wound looks rather fresh. And you guys piece that together how you will.
Yeah.
And then we'll look over to Wyatt, nod. Good job. And then she'll slowly lower this guy back to the ground so he doesn't slide off and make more noise falling.
I was going to have a look, root through his pockets, see if I can find.
Yeah. She's not removing the
Additionally,
spear until you're confirmed he is not moving.
All right. You rifle through his pocket?
She's just...
Yeah, no. In the past, I've probably had to do that looking for identification. Now I'm just looking for anything.
Okay, we're going to do a couple rolls here. And I don't think they're generic roll buttons on your character sheets. There should be, but we do not have that right now. So, can you look in the Roll20 chat? I can do it for you if you want me to, but you are the person. In the Roll20 chat, hit /R and then space, and we're going to roll what's called a double low. So roll 2d6 and take the lowest number. Just like D&D.
Okay, how do I write that? Sorry.
Like you'll type like the / then a lowercase r, hit space, and then do number 2, letter D is in dog, and then a 6. Like a 2d6, just like D&D. Mine doesn't count. I'm just throwing it out there. But we both got a 2.
Yep.
All right, so he's got 2 items on him. So now you can roll off the scavenging table. I'll allow you. It's rolling a D666. So you will roll a /R and then 1D666. You know, like me.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, that might not work.
40.
No, it's not doing it right. I'm sorry. You need to roll 3d6. We can't look at them as a total. We have to look at them as individual dice pieced together from left to right. So I apologize. So
okay.
Do /R 3d6, and then you can do it a second time. Yep. I was like, wait, that doesn't look right.
Oh, did that work?
Oh, it didn't give us any.
Or is it? Oh, it's /R.
Oh yeah, /R. Sorry. Yes. There we go. That's what we needed.
Yeah.
432.
There we go.
And then do it again. You can hit up actually, and it'll redo your next roll up on the keypad. And give it your.
There we go.
Okay, so 432.
12.
You find a package of couscous and smoked ham. This is 2 rations.
You find emergency rations.
Yum.
And it just makes it crazy.
Fancy rations.
And a big jar of honey in his backpack. 1 ration. So this guy was loaded with some not spoiled food. Shot through the neck recently. Parachute deployed from up on high. And he crashed on the roof.
Honey could be eaten, but it's also incredibly antimicrobial. If push comes to shove, use that as medicine on wounds.
Sure.
We're starting our own general hospital over here.
You know what? You got the stuff as you rifle through. Like those guys, Wyatt cuts the parachute and is kind of watching the walkers walk away. Caitlin is, good job. Takes a spear out, makes sure. And Angela's like, we good over there or what? And then you're like pulling out all this weird food on this dead pilot that was shot through the neck.
I think after Caitlin secures her spear from him, she's going to take off his helmet. Take that with her.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a helmet. It gives you a little head protection, maybe. The visor's cool.
I don't think she wants to use it for herself, but the electronics in it could be useful, and the helmet itself is a helmet for someone that
Now,
is going out for a raid.
and if this
I
is
agree with that.
2002, it's probably not a Bluetooth setup. I would imagine it was probably wired in to the cockpit.
Yeah.
So the radio in it probably does not work.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's electronics. People
Give me 5
find
minutes.
weird things to do with it.
I mean,
Exactly.
if you got 5 minutes, I can go ask my dad what gear pilots used in 2002.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, you can at time. I'm not gonna keep you here.
I mean,
we got-
one way or another, it's a receiver and then a transmitter, and people can do a lot of things with just those two pieces of statements.
Yes.
So
so,
she's not a techie, so we got a guy for that. So she's just bringing him some stuff that he
I
can
am
pull
also
apart.
not a techie.
the
The
backpack.
techie is sick.
The backpack is a parachute backpack. He had like a secondary pack on him that had the food in it, maybe. Excuse me. No identification that you see. Like I said, he doesn't look military. You can't really tell. There's no labeling on it. So even if it's commercial, so maybe it's residential. But the food, yeah, he has like his piloting gear on. But it's a guy. He's probably in his 30s, dark hair, milky white zombie. Sorry, walker eyes. Almost broke my own rule there. And he's also dead again. And that's about all you get. As Angela
Best
comes calling
state
up,
for
she's like, "Wow, that's interesting. You come from that
Caitlin
helicopter?"
nods. Helicopters
He's
typically
dead.
don't use parachutes, kid. If a helicopter's falling from the sky, it's going to catch you before you hit the ground, and it's not take you with it. They don't usually have emergency ejections.
Yeah, that's
I
good
saw it in a
enough in my
movie.
notes. Deceased due to neck gunshot turned redeceased.
Redeceased. She goes, "Well, he could still come from the helicopter. I mean, the helicopter went overhead and then he hit. Had to be from the helicopter."
You would think.
Well, he's not a
Yeah.
military guy, so he's probably not smart enough to know that that wasn't going to work if the helicopter was going down. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, you didn't hear a helicopter go
I
down
don't
and
think.
crash.
Yeah.
You just heard it pitch weird and then like
Oh,
take
yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Which means most
Well,
likely
I
somebody
think he-
did this on purpose to this guy, you know.
Yeah,
But-
well, going by this wound to his neck, he was probably either dead or dying by the time he was out of the helicopter.
She
Most
nods.
likely.
Because
That makes
you
sense.
can't
That
do
means
this
this
much
was a dumping of a
damage
body.
to the neck. Yeah, you
Or
can't
was
do
it an
this much
attack?
damage to the neck or
Well,
those lovely blood vessels, your spinal cord.
make a
Yeah, GSWs are messy on the outside.
one of you could probably make a survival
Mm.
or a medical roll in this situation as you're talking about the wounds and might be what happened. Because it seems very strange. I mean, he was obviously
we're
he
both-
probably didn't shoot himself in the neck. People will shoot themselves in the head, and not in the middle of a helicopter ride. But who knows?
Oh,
Someone probably shot him and maybe pushed him.
My own medicine.
Oh, dang, Caitlin.
Dang.
You all realize that, yeah, I mean, the way the gunshot is probably was done by someone else and fell, parachute opened up as it fell, and then hit. But what was strange is, to talk to you about the things you know, is you look at him, at least not visibly for the two, for Wyatt and Caitlin, he doesn't look like he has any scratches or walker bites on him, yet he became a walker. Cassandra, you do a little further investigating, just like lift up the shirt, sorry, buddy, I got to pull your pants down real quick, check to give you the full physical, sorry, whatever, because you're like, well, that's weird, he should not be a walker, he should just be dead. And you start searching him over real good, top to bottom, you look him over, it's kind of embarrassing, you don't necessarily rip his clothes off and throw him over the edge, but you can check everywhere reasonably, and he has no scratches or bites specifically on his body. Just a little extra for you. But otherwise, the rain starts to sprinkle down a little heavier. The thunder, the lightning bolts are a little bit closer. You see some flashing here and there. Thunder sounding almost immediately after.
I think.
Let's get off this roof.
She'll nod to everyone. As soon as the next thunder cracks, I'm going to push him over. You guys go. And she'll just time it for the thunder. So boom, and shove him so that way, while the boom's going, he's falling to the ground.
Dead pilot falls.
I'm stashing the food
Yep.
in my medical bag, which is definitely not X hand carry-on luggage. It's definitely a medical bag.
A little bit
I
heavier
wrote
now
first aid on it.
with a nice little ham in there and that big jar of honey. Jars of honey like this they're really heavy. It's very thick, as you guys know. So it really starts to weigh down your medical bag a little bit there. Tice is putting all kinds of stuff in chat. I can't keep up with it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to, buddy. Go ahead. You guys are free to go back down. What do you want to do?
I'm getting off this roof.
Very well.
Let's not get struck by lightning.
I'm just going back down.
It's an easy, if you're careful, it's kind of an easy, like, just kind of whoop down. Angela goes, and she goes inside. The three of you hop down, come in. You're starting to get wet now, but not too bad. Angela's wetter along her front because she was laying on her stomach. And you come in, and you see, as you go through the office out, you can't really see anything. You can see across the other side. You got the whole floor down below you, but you got to go through the office and out the door into the break area, which is kind of where you guys have bunkered down. And you see Doris. She's kind of sitting with Robert. And she's like, it's okay. They were just their bootsteps. See, you can hear them coming back down, and it's them coming in. You've been thunderstruck, I said. Yes, thank you.
I probably not call out, but definitely say something to announce my arrival.
Oh, sure. Well, when you come in the door, they can tell. She can stand up and look and see it's you guys, but yeah, she's like, okay, see, it's them. They're here. Angela, your good friend Angela's here. And you hear him say something like, you think you hear him say something like, I want to see Bella. But you three come marching back, or four come marching back into the room. And Angela's like, Robert, what's going on? And he's just like, I wanted to go with you guys, and I'm sorry. I should have went. But I wasn't breathing so good.
It's fine. There was enough of us.
It's all right.
It was some guy in a parachute turned into a walker. He just happened to be on our roof, of all the things. Wyatt took care of the parachute so it won't draw anything up to us, and we took care of the walker. It's another day in paradise.
Free lunch.
Free lunch?
He had some rations on him. Apparently, he didn't expect to die.
Yeah,
Tell me about him. What do you look like? What happened? What do you think?
30-ish-year-old man. Gunshot wound to the GSW to the neck. Parachute. Non-military clothing, but he had a pilot's helmet, and she shakes it. So.
Yeah. Probably commercial or private pilot.
Somebody
Broken
terminated
legs,
his
but
employment.
that's not what killed him. Yeah.
Interesting.
Or he was turned in already before they shot him, and he just fell like that. It's hard to say.
Didn't break the jar.
April, what's the politician's name? Sorry.
Doris
Young.
Yep.
Could I try and pull her to the side? Because I don't want to worry, especially Robert.
I think, yes.
I'm going to...
I want to do, yes, you pull her to the side real quick. As you do, Caitlin and Wyatt, you notice, like, Angela goes to Robert because she really likes this kid. He's kind of geeky and freckled, and, you know, like, she's a pretty young girl, and he's younger than her, but for some reason she's taking an interest to him. Maybe like a big sister, or you're not sure, but she goes like, Robert, it's okay. We did it just fine. He kind of like shrugs her off. He's like, I could take care of myself. He goes, and she kind of looks hurt a little bit, but then Robert looks at you, Caitlin, and he's like, holds up his asthma inhaler. He's like, I think this is out. And he tosses it to you. Let me pop back over to Cass real quick. Cass, you take, Doris like, sure.
Yeah,
What's up, Cass?
I'm gonna put her to the side. I do have a quiet voice because I've had to talk to doctors about patients while they're in earshot. I'm going to tell her the walker, it was weird. We couldn't find any signs of bites or scars that would have caused his infection.
Are you sure? I mean, that's not the.
Pretty damn sure.
I mean, you gave him the old look-see all over? Like, check his hair and all that? Make sure there was nothing?
Yeah, I'm
Well, ain't that the shit?
used to searching patients, so yeah, it's strange.
All right. She looks at the other two, like, or the other three. She's like, the other three know that?
Hmm?
She's asking us, like,
Caitlin and
What?
Caitlin and Wyatt we searched his body together. We made sure Angela was out of eye shot.
all right, let's keep this close to the chest. That's weird. That'll disturb undue
Yeah, that's why I wanted to
unrest.
tell you.
Thank you. We'll tell Bella later. She needs to know since her and I are making the decisions. We'll tell her when they get back and hope they're being okay. We have to check them outside. Thank you. She puts a hand on your shoulder. She goes, thank you. And Caitlin.
I
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead, Cass. I keep cutting you off.
go to the fridge and I stash the couscous and the ham.
All right. But you keep the honey. That's right. It's good.
I'm more thinking about it for antimicrobial, because we don't really have anything like that.
Yeah.
That's a perfectly great idea. You said you put it in your medical bag anyway. All right. Let's see here. We got a few minutes left. I did say I forgot to mention this because we always have to save a little bit of time at the end of each episode to do some questions, and those are what gets you XP. And getting XP is what allows you to buy more talents or upgrade your skill points. It'll take roughly 2 episodes to get an upgrade. So with a 6-episode commitment to our pilot season to see if we get renewed and refunded by the producers for a season 2, you'll get to get an upgrade maybe roughly 3 times, 2 to 3 anyway. Anyway, we're going to come to a close pretty soon because it's our short, sweet first episode with 2 of our players down. But Caitlin, as you catch the inhaler, you know how to shake. You know how to shake a bottle in one of those type of little.
Yeah.
It's empty if not close. And I know a lot of kids tend to grow out of asthma. Not always, but some do. He's not. This 14-year-old's not at the stage to do that yet. He's, like I said, pretty trigger happy about it. And his only asthma inhaler is empty or nil, or near empty.
Roll reggae.
Wyatt.
She'll shake it.
So sympathetic.
She'll shake it. She'll not disassemble it yet.
Mm-hmm.
She'll put it up to her ear. She'll hold it for a second between her fingers, and she'll lean into him. And she'll like, look, I'm going to have to organize a run to get you some more of this if we can find it. But in the meantime, I'm going to need you to do your exercises that we talked about before you use the inhaler. It's going to run out faster if you don't. It's almost done. This is probably 1 to 2 more puffs. And relax.
Oh, okay.
You're not going to be running around. You're not going to be doing anything crazy until we get this fixed. Okay?
I've been so good I could take care of myself too. I can.
I know. And that's why I need you here. And I need you to listen because you are a big boy. You're not a kid. You're not a little kid no more. Yeah. So you can handle yourself, yes. But you've got to also think about everyone else around you. They're relying on you just like you rely on them. So I need you to focus and listen to what I said.
Okay.
Use your exercises.
Okay.
And then keep an eye on them and yourself. It's hard to do. That's part of being an adult is you've got to learn how to look out for yourself and those who rely on you. You're not doing it alone. And she smiles over to Angela. She's like, Angela's here. You guys are buds. That's great. You always need a number two to help you out with things. And you got the rest of us. We're all in this together. Because everything outside those walls isn't us, and it's trying to hurt us right now until we get things squared away.
Yeah.
So if if she feels that you need something, don't think that she's saying you can't do something. She's offering help before you realize you need it.
Sure. Yeah.
It's going to be hard, bud. Hey, it's hard before I grew up before all this crap, and it was hard for me as a kid. So you're leaving kidhood in the middle of this garbage jungle of life we live now. So
jungle of life.
So it's like,
I love it.
you're tougher than me, dude. I grew up at your age. My biggest concern was pimples, and the boy I like wouldn't pay me any attention. You've got a whole lot more to deal with, and you're doing great. And most kids, by their 20s, they've got their exercises down to the point where they usually don't need one of these things except for maybe extreme situations. Like if you go into a run or something like that. So don't think this is you failing. This is you learning. And we're going to cover you.
Okay, then.
Because I need medicine. And we got a lot of doctors in this place. So if we can't take care of you, what's the point, right? Of having us around.
So this time, Angela scoots a little closer to him again. And instead of him shoving her away, he seems a little more willing to let her sit next to him. And so Angela kind of beams a smile up at you, Caitlin.
Smiles back.
And
I'm thinking now Caitlin was not a full-out doctor. She was probably a pediatrician.
well, maybe that's still a doctor. And that's still...
Yeah, I know. You know what I mean, though. I'm not a surgeon doctor by nature.
Sure. I mean, that's where it comes into play as we get going. I mean, go ahead.
Pediatricians are still specialists. You need to do extra training for them.
That's true.
Yeah. I think that's where I'm going to go.
I was an RN who worked... Yeah, I was an RN who worked either general medical or emergency.
Yeah. So you've seen the start of everything. Yeah. Because I didn't take her natural medicine that high, and so my brain is like, we're there, but we're not where we want to be for me to have started as already a surgeon, brain surgeon nonsense. That feels like a 5 and a 5 or something like that in my brain. Like to start the game with, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, and she basically just kind of hangs out with them to calm them down. Like she's feeling a little stressed after today's little debacle because she had to make sure she killed someone, and that's the exact opposite of what she wants to do with people. But this person wasn't technically a person anymore, so she had to do it.
Stress rules. Pushing a roll gets you stressed. Not enough food and water. Being attacked by walkers. Not really the case here. Being shot at. Framed for murder. Rejected by your lover. These are all things that cause stress. Being bitten. Being broken by damage. Seeing someone in the group broken by damage. Seeing someone in the group get bitten. Killing another human being in cold blood. Sorry, I went through this fast. Those are all the things that give you stress.
Yeah. Well, this is that directly corresponds to her. Like, she's seen it all, but her one thing is she swore to help the sick and the dying, and this guy was both because he was technically undead, and that word's not used, but he was sick. He had a problem, and instead of being able to help her, she had to kill him.
Yep. Give mercy.
So that bothers her.
Mercy kill.
So as you stand up, Caitlin, and I see Wyatt as one of the guys that kind of sits on the sidelines in the corner, whittling some wood with a knife or something like that. Just listens to the conversation and whatever. That's how I see it. But you can tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're not. That's exactly kind of what I'm doing. Just like,
I would love it if you held a piece of wood right now. You're like, see, look at that. Anyway, Cass and Doris. Oh, there you go. Piece of wood. That's so weird.
Piece of wood. My kid had it in here. I just saw it.
There you go, whittling away. That's when you stand up, Caitlin. Wyatt's listening. Cass and Doris are there. She's like, "We'll get the others, but that's troubling about. We'll have to talk to Izza or Bella first about." She looks at you because ignores the kids, like the strange reason that this guy was a walker and why he was thrown out of a helicopter. But really, and she looks at you because you're still holding the inhaler. She's like, "Well, what's the verdict on that?"
We got to go find at least one more to tide him over until we can get him past this. Asthma doesn't really go away, but asthma can be controlled over time. We need to get him that time. We got to get him calm to where he can have that time, though. That means we need to put him to work inside where he feels safe.
You can keep the beds tidy. You know, what counts as beds? Sure.
Yep.
Well, I think Scruffy got that tail.
Cleaning and sanitation is a very important job now.
That's true.
True.
And there's no lack of you finding soap in this
Make
place.
him feel important.
Yeah. I think you found lots of, I don't know if they had these then. I might have to use a lot of modern day stuff because I don't know what it was like then. And it wasn't like this in 2002. I'm using the storage set up today, but back in time. But there's a lot of foam soap, and there's some bar soap, and there's also like there's still cleaning products in the mop, the broom closet, which aren't necessarily for your skin, but there are things you can do to dilute things and still clean with some things and all that, right?
Yeah. Well, I know before we had all of the, in America, before we had all the hand sanitizers every 5 feet because of the COVID thing, we still had industrial sized vats and buckets of hand cleaner in closets to keep the bathrooms full because people would have to refill those constantly. Even at Panera, when I worked at Panera, we had a bucket that we had full of that, and we have to put on a cart to get back there to refill the thing because it was either that or you had constant little bottles like this that came in a pack of 4 to 5 in a box. You stack them like 6 high, so that way you only order them once a month because they cost a lot of money, but you need them constantly. Because one of my jobs for closing was fill all those dispensers, and I just filled them up 3 times the day of the work too.
Yep.
Individually, I've had to carry hand sanitizer long before COVID because I'm allergic to hand soap. So if I go somewhere, I go to like a public toilet, I have to have something to clean my hands. So
if you don't care it yourself,
the
you
person
don't have
depends
it.
on the place.
Yeah.
Cass has probably got a bunch of little travel-sized shampoos and conditioners stolen from her hotels.
Yep. Those are good. They work still. Soap is soap in the end, if you have to.
Yes.
So Doris is like, well, I think just yesterday, Scruffy finished wrapping up that tailpipe. Still loud. Truck was loud anyway, but it's not dragging anymore. So we got a vehicle working, but we got a ton of vehicles in the parking lot. We need spare parts, decipher gas. We might get some of them working, but he's not really looking at that right now since he's trying to get us a greenhouse set up. Or at least, I think that's what Scruffy would do. At least I'm saying it right now. Like, they're trying to clear a little more property to expand your reach. Just a little bit. It's only been a couple days.
Yeah.
But you want more walkers not inside your property. There is a chain link fence in a building that does separate from the outside. But still, the inside of that is the greenhouses and the pond. And there are still walkers. So they're kind of busy seeing what supplies are there, clearing the walkers. But Scruffy managed to get the truck where it's still workable. It was, but it's still loud. It's not dragging a tailpipe. She goes, we can talk to the others and see where we can find some medicine. We haven't been around here in a little bit, at least in this immediate area, so I'm not sure what's left. And
she nods. That's all I ask is we put that on the not priority list, but this is important. We should move on this if we're not doing something that's deadly priority.
Let me switch to a different map where there are some.
Because she looks over to Cass and is like, we both know that at any moment one person getting hurt too much and we're going to be out of supplies quick.
Yeah, that's why I want to keep that honey aside, because while we have stuff now in many months, years, it basically never goes off, and you get a wound, you put that in it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The loner's just shaking his head. They're agreeing with everybody in silence.
I've
Mm-hmm.
moved
Y'all's
you.
right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've moved you back to the large area map, where your points of interest are marked. You guys, where the haven is, you can see where it says this over here on the right. I've marked just a couple things, even though there's a ton of stuff technically. I wasn't going to try to map everything. Why don't you guys? I know it's kind of written down there, but you want to get a most precise thing. You're looking for medicine, specifically asthma inhalers or refills for his inhaler. One or at least the two doctors, in the house can make survival checks, and then we're going to come to a close probably after that.
Survival check.
Get us a good setup for next time.
Check.
Yep, this is something you do for going on a run. In some sectors,
I forgot I had a stress.
locating things and resources. When you want to figure out where you can find certain items, spare parts or hydraulic pump, or spare parts to a hydraulic pump, for example, you make a survival roll. If you succeed, the GM will point to a sector on the map, the area map, and tell you what can be found there. This represents using your knowledge from pre-apocalyptic times to make an educated guess. When you fail the roll, which I don't think you guys did, nope. The GM will tell you where the item can be found, but something about that place of where you're looking is problematic. And that could be anything. I'm not going to read everything there. Okay. So who got it? Wyatt
And Caitlin.
It makes sense for Cass, who was kind of touring over here with another group of Aussies. A whole bunch of Australians came over. I feel like they flew into Grand Rapids International Airport, since the Lansing Airport is small, but it's not international, I don't believe. They took a tour bus.
I think I was probably here on my own.
Oh.
I probably came here to go to the national parks.
Oh, all right.
So
in Michigan.
I'm just here.
Oh, I know. Okay. You know what? You wound up in the armpit of Michigan, Lansing. Sorry, love you. It's our capital. But you would have started in Grand Rapids. There are some good parks in Michigan, but there is one place called Frederick Meyer Gardens and Sculpture Park, which is a large outside garden area, but also sculptures and art all kind of mixed together. Inside conservatory greenhouses, outside walkabouts, and all kinds of cool stuff. But from there, you saw that and a few other things. Somehow you made your way towards Lansing, and then you met Isabella and the group. I was sitting
My best friend used to live in this town, and I came to try to find him, but I think he's dead.
Wait, what? What town?
This town that we're in right here, I even think he used to work at this place at one point in time. But
Oh, I see what you're doing.
poor bastard's lost.
That poor bastard. I think his name was Lucius or
Duke?
Lucas or
Lucas?
something.
I don't know.
That
We always
church
called him
idiot.
Doofus. We just called him Doofus.
What a doofus. He wore glasses and hosted games online for friends that called him names. Okay, there's a full circle. Anyway, it's kind of makes sense. You know why I was going with a group tour? Because you said you like to play Australians. That's why all your accents are Australians, because you don't do accents. So I was like, well, if there's a group of Australians, if Cass dies, oh, look, there's another Australian.
I think there's going to be more than one Aussie tourist knocking about.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You know, you could have came by yourself, but a whole plane full could have come over and doing their own thing, right? So, yes. Oh my goodness, I made that
Turns into an episode of Lost.
exactly. Oh, speaking of, we can do
I think
flashbacks.
at this
What's that?
At this point, I think Cass is still hoping that. I mean, yeah, America's gone to shit, but maybe it hasn't reached Australia yet.
Yeah.
At this point, any
Yeah.
probably no longer thinking that, but
You have no idea either way. could get a plane or a boat back. It'd be a long trip, but you never know. Or Australia will come with a bunch of other
This
countries.
is where day 4? So
Well,
currently day
It's been a
4. I
year.
think it's reasonable to think this
Yeah,
episode
Day 4 for us.
specifically wasn't this.
and we're on day 5 of when the group finds the haven. That's kind of where I went with. Like day 0 was here's the night before, and then 5 days you've been there, clearing out, living there. So about a year into the apocalypse, though.
Oh, okay. So by this point, no chance.
Probably not. This is probably your home forever now. But you never know. You never know. Anyway.
Had to get stuck in America.
Sorry.
I'm right there with you, pal. You're from here? I was stuck here the whole time.
So you're in your haven.
My college dad, I was never leaving.
No kidding. Caitlin and Wyatt, a little more local. Maybe not completely, but what I will tell you is the sector, they're not really numbered, but there is one sector where the labeled doctor office is in there twice. So, over there is at least at least one, if not 2 doctor's offices in close proximity from each other. And they're right straight down the thoroughfare of Saginaw highways you see by the signs. But often as there is on the major highways and where all the commercial stuff is, the more of that there is, the more chance there are of swarms of walkers. So,
yeah.
But as you see where I put on the map, there's, I think you can see can you guys see the words on there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Doctor office,
Yeah.
doctor office, grocery store.
So that
car lot.
is 6 sectors, which I think is a little over a day's travel. Ish. I have to look. I have to see how many. We'll have to look on the going on runs. Actually, it says in here, a car can do 5 sectors a day. So if you have no problems, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll take you a day there to get there, another part of the day to actually move in closer, and then another. So it's 2 full days at least gone from your haven, as well as another part of another day at least to scavenge around. It's only a couple miles down the road, but that turns into an adventure of itself.
Well,
So,
I'm also looking at the 2 hardware stores that are much closer to our haven.
there is.
Who's up for a Bunnings trip
Depends on what you guys think is necessary.
or whatever the equivalent,
Well,
whatever the American equivalent of a Bunnings is.
Hardware stores is half what we call them because they're all
we have,
usually small chains.
in that area
Home
right over
Depot.
there, we have Lowe's and Menards. Those are 2 of our major national chains. And then Home Depot is another one, but that's not here.
I've heard of Lowe's.
Yep, Lowe's and Menards are there. Menards is probably a little more localized, but yeah, Lowe's is definitely national. So you have that over there, several restaurants, a grocery store known as Walmart. That's a national chain, Walmart. That was probably looted pretty good, but
I've heard about Walmart.
and
Everyone's heard about Walmart. Trust me.
That's very good. That's good. And there are a couple pharmacies probably scattered in. There would actually be a pharmacy inside the Walmart. Not a full doctor's office, but the pharmacy.
Oh yeah, that is.
There would be a pharmacy inside that
That's
store.
weird. Like owned by Walmart. That is unusual.
What's that?
You have pharmacies that are owned by Walmart. That strikes me
Walmart
strange.
has his own pharmacies inside because they were going for we do everything.
Yeah, it's
So they've got pharmacies, they have gardening centers now, and they also do the grocery stores inside the Walmarts. Like Walmart does its own grocery store.
Clothes.
And some do vehicles, so you can do oil changes and tire changes.
This one does actually has an automotive section for repair and tires and oil changes. And
pretty much anything they can get away with. They used to have McDonald's in it, but now they're all
Subway too.
Subways now.
Yeah, because you have to be healthy.
Eat fresh.
Eat fresh. Anyway.
Yeah, but have you seen how much sugar is in Subway bread?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's still
Right.
fresher than most things we eat over here. We're
It's
terrible
delicious.
with sugar.
That's not untrue.
Oh, I know.
There's something else
We
over
are
there
terrible
too.
with sugar.
Oh,
Everything has sugar in it, even our milk.
the Meyer grocery store, which is a chain that's in the Northwest over here, and Jason knows it. Dan maybe has probably never heard of it, but that Meyer is the same thing as like a Walmart, smaller
Yep.
scale, but also has a pharmacy. But that's a little further even still. So for next time, you guys can all decide together or talk about it, or decide for the group now. But we're going to come to kind of a close here, as you have the mystery of a helicopter that's been flying overhead, dropped a pilot that was shot in the neck, turned into a walker, shouldn't have. Why? You also have that. You heard a couple days before that. You heard these motorcycles revving in the area. So there's 2 or 3 people on motorcycles just blasting down the main strip somewhere. You're clearing out your own stuff, trying to make your defenses and your capacity better. And now, that's all well and good. That's just things around. But Robert is out of asthma. Out of his asthma inhaler is empty. That's the most urgent, pressing kind of probably. That's something you need to do. You don't have to, but going unchecked, something could happen. So that is where we leave it. You guys, I'd like you to, you can talk about it. Do you think that's something you're going to be looking forward? I don't have to do a lot of planning, but I guess I would ask, what do you guys say? As Doris looks at you, she's like, we can get the vehicle going. We can make a run. I would say the points of interest, the grocery store and then the 2 doctor's office. Or you can do something completely different.
I mean,
The doctor's
Caitlin would
office
definitely
will
want to
actually
do.
also have. The doctor's
Yeah.
office will have medical equipment
Yes, it will.
as well.
Yeah.
So if we can get our hands on forceps, scalpels, because we could just sterilize them in water.
Yeah. Well, I've got the basic medical gear entry. So we have the basic kit, but we don't have the
Yeah, I've
advanced
got-
stuff. With the doctor's
I've
office
got
might have an advanced.
Yeah, I've got medication and drugs.
We got everything but long-term care.
But you're
But
right. They might have a better
Every bit
chance
of
of.
helps.
The two offices might have a better chance of actually having the advanced medical gear for the crazy stuff that you might need, and they might be hooked to generators if you had gas to use them if everything's working order. There's a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of maybes. So that would, the pharmacy, if you can get to that and it's not completely looted, has a better chance of having more types of drugs.
Yeah.
But the 2 urgent cares, we'll just say, have probably have some drugs, but better chance of having the equipment. But it's also much further away.
I'll also have the fun drugs.
Well,
that's
and
good.
we might be able to find some of the drugs that people would overlook, because there's asthma medication out there that is over the counter that people might not think about. So if they're just hitting the pharmacy portion of it, there could be other stuff in the store that we
It
could use.
depends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anything is better than nothing. And right now he has 1 or 2, episodes from nothing. So that's Caitlin's point. It's like anything we find is a bonus at this point. Anything. And if we find what we're looking for him, well, we win. It's, as long as we all come back and we come back with that, one of us comes back at least with 1. Just even 1 is still better than what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Because we have work to do here, but people like Caitlin and Cass can't do any other job if someone's trying to die on us.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard for us to help the group if 1 is dying.
And Kai as well.
That's our job, literally.
I can't.
Kai's a nurse too.
Yep.
So
We can't intubate someone if we don't have that gear.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? Where do you think you'll run? Pharmacy or doctor's office?
For expediency's sake?
I think, actually, let's stop right there.
Yeah, let's wait for the group.
I think that's like the hanging question.
We'll build the run next time.
As Doris herself says it, you guys have been talking. She's like, so, which one are you going to go?
Let's go.
And then
Yes.
everybody kind of looks at each other. And then we hear the bikes revving up again, not too far off. Opening up, revving, driving. Sounds like 2, 3, maybe 4 motorcycles this time, driving crazy as lightning flashes and the storm has come down again. And
That can't be safe.
and that's where we'll fade to black for the credits. Like maybe that's the last line. That can't be safe. Boom. We cut to black. Credits roll. Good one, Cass. All right. That's
Who
where
thumbs way up?
that's where we'll end our session tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll cut out in just a minute, but at the end of each episode, we're going to ask some questions. This is where people get XP, so get ready to mark a little XP. It's basically if you answer yes to my question and tell me why, you get an XP. There is going to be a couple that don't work yet, like the Dearly Departed monologue. That'll be starting in episode 2 and beyond. We'll get to that later. That's a way to recap and get XP for the group. Also, you guys going forward can each do up to 1 flashback a piece per character. And that's something where you look back in the world before, how your life was. If you want to bring something in relevance to your character, something, a person from their history, or an event to kind of flush out the character, right? It's just for fun. But when you do that, other people can play other people, like other players can play other characters interacting with your character in the past. So if you don't do a Dearly Departed monologue, flashbacks can also maybe count as XP. But anyway, I will have some questions for you. I think you guys can earn up to about 4 XP or so this time. We'll see. Did you participate in the session? You always get at least 1 XP. So you guys get 1 XP so far.
I know 3 people were here.
Hey.
Somebody was trying to participate, but he had to be sick.
2 of them. All right, second question. Did you achieve something important, and what was it?
Did we achieve something important?
If you have to tell me.
I did. Personally, we each have to say what we did personally, right?
No, this is a group one.
Oh, well, we identified what the threat was. We took care of the threat, and we averted additional walkers coming in because they chased the thing.
Yeah.
So I think that
We also identified that the infection might have an additional unknown vector.
Yeah.
It's not just bites and scratches. It could be airborne.
And Caitlin started to offset, hopefully, a morale problem with a young man thinking that he is not useful because he can't do things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she was quick to nip that in the bud because useful doesn't mean the same thing as you think it does, kiddo.
It's always difficult with disability and chronic illness, having to learn when to ask for help and not feeling shitty about having to ask for help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to feel shitty. No matter what. You're going to feel different. You're going to feel weird. But that's why Caitlin was quick to go in there and go, hey, look, you're just different.
Yeah,
you're not Wyatt. You're you. We're working with you.
You had some great points.
If we didn't want you here, you wouldn't have been here. And if we didn't want you here, we'd be the asshole. So
you guys all came up with some. That's great. So, you still get 1 XP, just a group. But thanks. Those are all great things. So we're all at 2. Did you learn something, and what was it? I mean, I think you might have also covered that in the last bit. At least Cass did.
We just covered that.
There's
unknown
something going on.
Yep.
There's unknown vector. There's for some reason that people are killing other people and dumping them in a helicopter as they fly by, which is weird. Very weird, especially now, a year later. Why is this still a thing?
Especially not necessarily, like, I could imagine the military might still be somewhat functional, but either or commercial pilots?
Or just a normal person for some reason is a pilot. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah.
I wish I knew what it was, but I'm clueless too.
Me too.
Ty said, real meta strategy. Have the 2 kids lead the front of the exploration since children can't be harmed. I didn't say they couldn't be harmed, by the way. They just said we're not going to go graphic on it. And they're not little kids. They're, whatever. Anyways, so here's question 4. So we
could be harmed off screen.
That's right. And then they're coming after you, Tice. Did you explore at least 1 new sector on the travel map?
No.
We have not moved.
That'll be next time.
No.
So this is one where it kind of comes in personal, individually. Did your drive, your issue, or any of your relationships make an impact on this session?
Yes.
That's
I'm going.
yeah. Tell me yours.
I am going directly against my issue of sworn to help the sick and helpless, and repeats the vow when helping others. Like she didn't want to do that, but she did it to protect others.
You want with the walker?
Hmm.
All right.
That's why she doesn't use a pistol, because that's too easy to kill people. So she has to face them to do it with the spear.
Okay.
So,
That's a good one. Wyatt, what do you think? Drive, issue,
Yes.
relationship. Which one?
So I did what it takes to survive when people were worried about trying to keep the parachute, or we were all having that discussion. My character said, "Nope, we're just going to survive. I just want to make sure that walker doesn't come over here, and I just cut it regardless."
Sure. Yep.
And that was the character reason behind that. I'm like, yeah, he would do that, I think. So we're gonna do it.
No apologies. Do it.
Jason wouldn't.
I I might grab onto it and like go for a ride suddenly when the wind picks up. Hey!
And that could have happened to me if I rolled bad.
Yep. Cass, what about you? Oops.
Probably not. I mean, my drive is this is my new family, but we haven't really had time to explore that yet. And haven't fully touched on the homesickness yet.
Well, but you have relationships with people. I'm not gonna lead you. It's up to you if you take the XP or not. But your drive, your family. I mean, you were still concerned about Robert immediately when you woke up in the morning and he was having an asthma attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's not. You're like, I mean,
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, all right. So that means all of you got 4 XP. I think next time you could easily earn 6 XP, which would give you a full upgrade. So you can buy your 4 main attributes across top. You don't get to upgrade those, but the 12 below that are attached to those, it takes 10 XP to buy one, and they max out at 5, I believe. So either that, or you can buy a talent. Then that's when you start getting some good stuff. So Daily Departed Monologue was not done, so if you do that, you roll a double low to see how many XP you get. So you can actually make sure you do those. I will tell you what that is real quick, and that's the end of our stream. So Dearly Departed Monologue is a way to earn XP to hold all sessions except for the first one start out with one. That means one of the PCs holds a monologue directed to a dead PC or NPC. Like in this case, maybe the pilot. Or someone a PC thinks is dead. The monologue should contain something that happened last session. Only one player gets to do it per session. It should be short and say something about what is going on inside the PC's mind. You don't have to direct it to someone who died last session. It could be a person from their past. So it could be like, dear, dear dead pilot, I don't know why you crashed on our roof. I don't know why you had a bullet hole in your neck, but you did give us some food, and for that we thank you. Something like that, right? You guys all have the core manuals. Yeah. These Dearly Departed Monologues are smattered through the whole core manual. If you just flip through pages, you're going to see them, and you can get examples. But beginning of each session, I need one volunteer, and next time it will be one of you 3 because you played, to do one of those real quick. And then that will assure everybody gets a little bit XP. That's how we recap the session. That's it. My name is Lucas. This is lucasgvariety. If you're watching live, appreciate it. And we're not going to do any shout tros. We're just going to end stream so I can talk to my cast. Thank you for joining us, Tice, and anybody else. We will see you guys next time. Scruffy will monologue. I know he will. Don't worry. And we'll talk to you guys again soon. Have a good night. God bless and good gaming.